what the hell's going on in Pittsburgh? They have added Michael Pittman Jr., as Chris mentioned earlier. There was a late-round draft pick swap because they needed to get Michael Pittman's contract off the books once they paid Alec Pierce. The Steelers and Pittman agree to a 3-year, $59 million contract. I don't know if it's an extension of the year that was left or it's a fresh 3 years. That one point has been a little bit vague, and we'll see the full contract at some point. But how I remember meeting with Michael Pittman, like how is it that Michael Pittman Jr. is already at the point where, well, we don't know. Like,
yeah, I know.
It's crazy because we sat with him at the Combine. You played with his dad. It's like he still feels like he's new to the NFL. But I guess, it doesn't take many years to get to the point where a team is doing this cost-benefit analysis and can we continue to justify this contract given the player's age, given injuries, given where he's going from here. But for the Steelers, it was like, come on in, let's go.
Yeah, well, they need it. We talked about it. I mean, last year, it was like, wow, okay, is DK Metcalf going to make a play? Okay, if it's not him, will it be Kenneth Gainwell, who you always sang the praises of? But that was pretty much what it is. It was like, there we go. That was the offense. Not going to get it done. And Mike McCarthy, he needs some new toys to play with. And Pittman, I think, is just a good complement to DK Metcalf on the other side. First off, two big physical receivers. They're going to like that. They're willing to run block. That helps them out for sure. But Metcalf, more the guy that we saw. You can kind of just line him up out here. He can dictate coverage. If he's one-on-one, we go to him. Pittman can kind of be your do all the other stuff, meat and potatoes guy, like we just kind of talked about. He works over the middle. He's a good route runner. He's fearless as far as contact and physicality. Just a well-rounded, really damn good wide receiver who can do it all. And, yeah, he's not the biggest play guy, but he still can scare you deep if he needs to. But I think that's where that works right there for the Pittsburgh Steelers. It's just, now the big question is who the hell is going to throw them the football?
And, on the day that you were snowed in, and I talked to Omar Khan.
Yeah.
It was one of the first interviews I did that day. I asked him about Tyreek Hill possibly being a fit for Pittsburgh because he's one of the ones who at least you could talk about.
Yeah. Because
he's not connected to anyone. And Omar said, we're comfortable with the group we have. And I know a certain amount of that is required, but Omar, I remembered what you said. That's a negative. That's a don't believe Omar the next time, but I understand it's part of the game. They're not going to come out and say, well, in free agency we may be, or we may have a trade. We may be trading for somebody who is familiar with this city in which we're currently sitting. So I get it, I understand it, and you're right. The bigger question is who's going to play quarterback. Now, you mentioned Gainwell. They let Gainwell go to Tampa Bay, 2 years, $14 million. He was the team MVP last year. First time the team MVP, I asked you this question last week, first time the team MVP of the Steelers has left in the next cycle since Neil O'Donnell 30 years ago when he led the Steelers to Super Bowl 30. Gainwell goes, and in comes Rico Dowdle. And you could argue they upgraded, and they got him for 2 years, 12 and a half. Gainwell leaves for 2 years, 14. The Steelers actually, the way it was being presented before Gainwell left was, the Steelers just can't afford. They're already paying Jalen Warren $5.9. They just can't afford to pay another. It's like this isn't 1999. Like $5 million for a running back's really not all that much money, grand scheme of things. And so out goes Gainwell, and in comes Dowdle for $6.25 million per year, making more than Jalen Warren. And Dowdle had a couple of big games last year, back-to-back 200 yards from scrimmage, had over 1,000 yards, working with Chuba Hubbard in Carolina. Not the deal that I suspect he wanted. We're seeing a lot of 2-year deals for the running backs. Better than a 1-year deal if it's a real 2-year deal. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.